Hey folks, Pat here from DNS. This Madison area fishing report is current as of March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Well, as a good customer of the shop put it, these are the dark times. And what they mean by that is that, this is the time when there isn't any fishable ice and open water opportunities are limited. So a lot of time gets spent in the basement reorganizing your tackle box or, just getting ready for when the open water comes. And, looking at the forecast here, looks like maybe next week it's going to warm up decently. So hopefully the open water is not too far away yet. And there is, a lot of good opportunities still for open water fishing in the area, and we'll talk about some of that and some events going on. But getting into that, the Wisconsin Muskie Expo is happening this weekend. Starts today, goes through Sunday up there to Wausau. They've got seminars and exhibitors and all kinds of stuff going on. Great lineup of speakers here. Oh, there's Dan Donovan, owner of Muskie Fool, just down the road there in Wanakee. Great folks down there. He's going to be talking about catching muskie on the fly, but also, a bunch of other great speakers lined up there. If muskies are your thing, if you want to drive a little bit further up the road, you can go to go to St. Paul for the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo. They're going to have presenters come in from all over the country. I believe it's the largest fly fishing expo in the Midwest, but a great event with lots to do and see up there. Then next weekend, on the 25th, we've got the Capital City chapter of Muskies Inc. They have their Muskie School at Wanakee High School. You can go to Capital City Muskies Inc. And register for that. It's a full day of different sessions where you can pick different classes and learn more about muskie fishing in the area. One more quick plug for the Southern Wisconsin Trout Unlimited's Spring Fair fundraiser. Early bird ticket package pricing goes off sale this weekend after Sunday, so take advantage of the early bird pricing while you can. Some good deals on some bucket raffle ticket packages there. One other thing I wanted to let folks know about is the city of Madison is looking at redesigning the Monona waterfront. So that's, I guess we'll get out the map here. We're talking about the area from Law Park up here, all the way down across the John Nolan Drive there, down to Olin Park. So the idea is they want to connect all this by putting in some more green space on their website here, in the Madison Parks website under projects. They have some master plans that have been submitted by 3 different agencies. I had a chance to look these over. Don't want to editorialize on this too much, but a couple of these seem like they're kind of over the top, if you ask me. Also in this area, especially along John Nolan Drive there, there's some great spawning habitat in there in front of the Monona Terrace. Great fishing in here and great spawning habitat, important areas, especially for panfish. So I want that to be protected. But what the point of this is if you could go online here to the Madison Parks website under projects, take a look at these different plans, see what you think. They have frequently asked questions, but the most important thing is they have you can take their online survey and let them know what you think about the projects and the idea as a whole. So give that a look and participate and let them know what you think. I guess then getting on to the report itself, we had kind of a roller coaster week this week of temperature wise. It was as cold as 10 degrees in the morning once when I came in, also as high as 50 degrees in the afternoon. So kind of some big swings in temperatures. Chilly today. We had some rain last night. Chilly this morning, going to be chilly through the weekend, but it looks like a nice warm up with highs in the 50s next week. So fingers crossed some of that ice starts to come off the lakes here a little bit. We can get back out on the open water. Generally around the chain, of course, game fish season is closed. So on all the inland lakes, but there's still plenty of action for panfish and catfish. Early season early season catch and release bass is always an option. And then you got the rivers, Wisconsin River and Rock River close by, and also all the great trout fishing in the area. So all is not lost as far as fishing goes. But generally this time of year, shallow areas that have dark bottoms are going to warm up quicker, and they'll be holding fish the earliest. Also, areas with current are good, so you'll hear me talking about some of those. I guess speaking of dark bottomed areas. Cherokee Marsh up here is wide open. We lost ice a while back, as is the marsh though, but you could get in there with a boat and check out. There should be, I know crappies were moving in there when there was ice, so there should be more crappies in there. Bluegills, of course, it's a great area for bass in there too. Down to the 113 bridge. I know quite a few folks have been down there fishing. I haven't heard if anybody's catching anything yet, so I guess stay tuned there. But that's going to be a great time, or a great area to fish coming up here pretty soon. Fish start to stack up in there: crappies, walleye, catfish. That'll be good through June. As far as Lake Mendota goes, not a lot going on there. Some of your little inlets, Marshall Park and the little inlet there at the county parks, have all have a little bit of open water where you could wet a line. Tenney Park down here, there's been some people fishing off the breakwall, but otherwise there's really not much going on Lake Mendota right now. Kind of the same deal out here on Monona. You could launch a canoe or something over here at Yahara Place Park and fish out there. There's a bunch of open water there. Also a bunch of water down here in Weechawuk Bay, formerly known as Squaw Bay. Also, Monona Bay is wide open down here and the triangles. So, and the crappies have been moving in there. I assume they're, moving in there more and more every day. So that'll be good fishing down there. I haven't heard much out of Wingra recently. So also, speaking of open water, the launch here at Lottis Park is open, and this whole area is open on both sides of the Beltline, and Mud Lake is open. So this is also, shallow, dark bottom area. You can get in there. A lot of fish like hanging out in that warmer water this time of year. And of course, the dredge hole is always a popular spot to fish. Don't know much about Waubesa. I imagine a lot of this north end of the lake is wide open right now. Probably some ice down here on the lake itself still. So yeah, I haven't heard much out of there. Probably some fish backed up at the dam here where it spills out of Lake Waubesa. There's probably some fish in the Fish Camp County Park area. You can launch a boat at Fish Camp County Park. That's bound to be quite a bit of open water in there. Also a shallow area that would warm up pretty good. I imagine Lake Kegonsa still has ice on it though, but none of that is currently safe. Probably some fish backed up here at the Kegonsa Lock and Dam. Otherwise, I don't know much about any other fishing opportunities around the Madison area, but of course, got the Rock River just south of us down here. Indian Ford, been hearing about a few pike coming out of there and the occasional walleye. Lake Koshkonong, I'm not sure the ice status out there. I imagine at least half of the northeast part of the lake here where the Rock River comes in, it's probably open up there. But I imagine people fishing over here to Black Hawk Island. I haven't heard any specific reports. I have heard some folks getting some fish up near Fort Atkinson and the Jefferson Dam. So there's those opportunities there. Haven't heard much out of Beaver Dam Lake. There are some folks fishing below the dam down here. And the water, I guess, is pretty high right now. So that's, I guess, all I know over that way. Devil's Lake doesn't really have safe ice. Let's see, you got the Prairie du Sac Dam up here. Have been hearing about some fish coming up there. And fishing from boats and from shore. Action's been spotty. Some folks have done very well, but I'd say most people report slow action up there. I don't know the status on Lake Wisconsin right now, but I imagine a good portion of this northeast end is probably open water by now. So some opportunities to get up there. I haven't heard much in the way of reports out of Lake Wisconsin, but Wisconsin Dells have been hearing about some good reports of some good action below the dam there, and the stretch down through here is a good, pretty safe bet this time of year. Some good walleyes, good saugers. Same thing below the Castle Rock Dam and the Petenwell Dam. Castle Rock and Petenwell themselves do have ice, as I understand, but I don't think anybody's out fishing it right now. Over to the Mississippi, of course, the perch bite usually is kind of the big news that everybody's heading up, heading over to the river to fish. I heard they still had a little bit of ice on DeSoto Bay this last week, but I'm not sure the status of that now. I did just see a post that folks were still on Lake Onalaska up here on ice, but it sounds like that ice is also on its way out. So open water fishing it is, and folks are getting perch and some walleyes up and down the river there. So if you want to make a trip over there, some great opportunities, especially at the dams for walleyes and stuff. Over here on the East Coast, we got Sounds like all the tributaries flowing into Lake Michigan are pretty much blown out right now. I know the Milwaukee was raging, and I'm sure the rain we got last night didn't help any. And as I understand, that's pretty much the same deal up and down the coast here. But Steelhead and Browns have started to move up there. So when that water comes down a little bit, that should be some great fishing opportunities until about Easter, a little bit after usually. Over here to De Pere, of course, the walleye rodeo is going on over here to the De Pere Dam. Um, you know, Probably your best chance at getting a 30-inch walleye, in this part of the state anyway. So a lot of folks heading up there and joining the circus. That can be kind of a bumper boat situation, especially on weekends. But like I said, some great action up there, and some folks are catching some nice fish. Otherwise, like I mentioned, their trout season is open right now, early season trout, catch and release only, artificial baits only, but some good opportunities. I don't think the rain last night probably blew streams out that much, so they should be in good shape for the weekend. And the water's still cold this time of year, so you're going to be looking at fishing deep pools with woolly buggers and maybe a nymph behind the woolly bugger or something like that. Pink squirrel is a fantastic winter fly, and if you're on the spin fishing side of things, like a Rapala countdown, jig and a twister tail or a tube jig or something like that, something that can get down there, fish slowly through deep pools is going to be your best bet. But yeah, I've been hearing about some great reports from some folks that are getting out trout fishing. And of course, you want to keep a few dry flies in your box. I know that folks have been reporting some hatches of bugs coming off, and the fish are looking up. So, well, I guess that's it for the report this week. Kind of short, but like I said, you got a little warm weather coming up next week, and hopefully things improve as far as access goes to open water. If you want any details on anything I talked about here, feel free to call the shop at 241-4225. Otherwise, post your comments, catches below. Love to hear, where there's ice, where there's open water, where people are catching fish. So feel free to post that below. And yeah, otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk next week. Thanks so much.